Hello there, men, and welcome to the Masculinism Movement channel, a place for men to be men and to talk about masculinity and men's issues. I'm your host, Brian Crawl, and today I have a very special last part of the Sacred Masculine Archetype series for you on the Wise Man archetype. This is part 8, and we're going to be discussing another character archetype. We talked about the hero, the warrior, the hunter. Now we're going to talk about the wise man, which is something every culture has. Some call it by different names, be it holy man, guru, priest, pastor, shaman, sage, master, or even just teacher. All right, but no matter what you call it, the wise man or wise old man, the village elder, whatever you want to call it, is a fundamental symbol of the sacred masculine archetype, which represents a number of great and exemplary male traits. First of all, of course, the wise man represents enlightenment, as he is an enlightened one, and is oftentimes called this in some cultures, perhaps like enlightened master. And one gets the sense of the wise man's enlightenment when in his presence, because he radiates the sense of it through his calm, relaxing, peaceful presence due to his profound inner peace and balance. So this is an example of behavior that younger men should strive towards, with trying to balance their emotions and their feminine and masculine side and all of their youthful energies and the sort of chaos of youth. And doing this is also called stoicism in Greek culture and I guess any culture that speaks English and uses those words, but whatever you call it, whether you're calling it inner peace or stoicism, what you get is a man who is very mentally balanced. He's achieved a state of harmony and thus great calm and relaxation and reasonableness. He is, of course, called the wise man because he is very intelligent and insightful. Sometimes others will go to him for guidance or political insight. Oftentimes, he is a man who has a great deal of life experience, has learned much over the course of his life, and uses his stories to impart life lessons, just as the other heroes do. He's someone who teaches virtue, and sometimes he's known to practice meditation or some sort of spiritual practices. He might, in many mythos, have some sort of spiritual or magical power about him, like Merlin from the King Arthur legend that everyone has heard of. Or a shaman. In any story involving a shaman, the shaman is the wise man who is a holy man who has both the enlightened knowledge of the spiritual nature of reality, but he also has some sort of spiritual power to affect a magical influence of some sort. So this is a really great representation of the sacred masculine archetype and just how great masculinity is in this world, especially as it grows and matures and ages, and especially spiritually, and what a profound spiritual influence masculinity and having a strong, positive male role model like a father or grandfather in your life who can impart spiritual wisdom and guidance is. If you're enjoying listening to what I have to say, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you feel I'm adding value to your life, you can also tip me at the PayPal link below in proportion to the amount of value added. Your support will help me be able to continue this work because the oppressive fascists at YouTube are against this kind of content and actively trying to suppress it. So it is only with the help of viewers like you that I'll be able to keep fighting the good fight against the evil fucking matriarchy. This figure gives us men hope for the future in showing us that we men age like wine and only get wiser and more masculine and thus more successful and high status as we age, just as long as we keep growing, of course. So this is a very profound symbol to keep in your mind as a man. And while I can go on and on with the list of masculine symbology and archetypes, I think I've covered enough facets of it at this point that you understand enough of the depth and the dynamics of it and the different dimensions and ways it takes shape in our reality as men. I'm sure you can see how sacred masculinity is and what an important role it plays in our world and the greater good of society. And so now I think you understand the masculine archetype, the spiritual nature of masculinity, and just the different ways that it takes form in our subconscious minds, in our cultures, in our social psychology. And so this will really, I think, help to empower you mentally and spiritually, and also it'll give you some great wisdom and allow you to be a more influential man and to basically use this to impart information and knowledge and wisdom to other people who are being ignorant about masculinity. When feminists are talking about how sacred femininity is, how sacred women are, and how men are just shit, men are pigs, men are, whatever they're calling us when they're man-hating. You now can talk about how sacred masculinity is. All right. And while this is the end of this series, which has been a very long and thorough deep dive, and I commend you if you watched all of these videos, I'm going to continue with the line of thought in this video in the next one by sharing a rundown of the different virtues of masculinity as is taught and exemplified in different cultures and mythos around the world. And many of these virtues, these stories of the sacred masculine part, are things that almost every culture in the world agrees upon. They're universal moral truths. So again, these things are archetypal, and we can see that masculinity is archetypal. Its nature, its characteristics, its traits and values and virtues are things that are universal and are very, very important as well, right? Things that are becoming lost due to the feminist takeover and its influence, and things that we need to bring back. So next time you hear someone talking about the yoni and the sacred feminine, but conveniently not pairing the sacred masculine along with it, make sure to inform them about the other half of the equation there. The half that just so happens to be where their part even comes from in the first place. And you can look forward to that next video, which will be on the virtues of masculine mythos. So thank you for listening. That concludes this talk. If you have anything else you want to say about the sacred masculine archetype in whatever ways I didn't talk about it, if I missed anything, if you have any input you want to give, please leave it below, because this is the end of this series.
That concludes this video. Thanks for listening. I hope I mansplained that good enough for you. If you like what you heard, please click the like button, and if you feel you gained some value from this video and would like to give some back, please do so with the PayPal link below, because your support helps fund me doing this work and fight the good fight for men like you. If you are ready to take the red pill and wake up from the matrix, well then, I have the perfect book for you. The Bible of Esoteric Knowledge is a super concise, dense, info-packed philosophy textbook, written in the same verse format as the Bible, but combining multiple different, highly esoteric philosophies such as Taoism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Shamanism, ancient paganism, and a special balance between theoretical physics and metaphysics, along with some special bonus info on the cryptic secrets of sexuality and death. This book will stimulate your intellectual philosopher's mind like no other, especially since it's a lot shorter and easier to read than most philosophy books made up entirely of run-on sentences and never-ending paragraphs, and can be quite boring and exhaustive. Full of all the most fascinating mystical secrets of the universe, gratify your inner geek and quench your thirst for meaning with the Bible of Esoteric Knowledge. Get your copy at the link below for a special sale price today.